Are you letting struggle and fear keep you stuck? Let me tell you, you are stronger than your struggle. You are bolder than the fear that is holding you back. Staying stuck is a choice. If you don't know the way forward, it's time that you resource up. Today, we're going to talk about how to do just that. Today, we are going to face those obstacles head on and create real momentum in your business and life. Can I be real with you? Challenges are going to come. There is going to be setbacks and roadblocks, unexpected hurdles. But it's how we respond to these challenges that's going to define our success. And you better know the spirit that is speaking to you. Ephesians 6:12 reminds us that we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against rulers, authorities, and powers of this dark world. You have to be able to discern which voices are trying to hold you back. Is it God guiding you, or is it fear planted by the enemy to keep you stuck? When you're feeling confused or overwhelmed, pause and ask yourself, is this fear speaking, or is this God calling me to step into something greater? Ask God, are you teaching me something in this moment? What are you teaching me in this moment? And what else do I need to know about this situation? Let's talk about some other ways on how you can actually break free from being stuck. Now, I'm a strategist at heart, and sometimes the best way to overcome challenges is to resource up and problem solve. And here's some practical steps to help you do just that. One of the first things that I like to do when I'm facing a problem is I like to take a step back and I like to look at the bigger picture. So when you're in the thick of it, you can feel like you're surrounded on all sides, but sometimes you just need to step back and look at the situation from a higher perspective. Do you remember that giraffe we talked about a couple days ago? The turtle only sees what's right in front of him, but a giraffe has a wider perspective. So you need to come out and look at the situation from that wider perspective. Write down the problem that you're having on paper. Look at it from the big picture and find out what the real issue is. Okay? And then once you've done that, you can break it down into smaller, more manageable pieces. This helps you to see the root of the problem instead of getting overwhelmed by all the details. Okay? Let's say that you are feeling completely overwhelmed by the sheer number of tasks that you have on your to-do list. You've got client projects, social media posts, financial tracking, and all the daily operations of running your business. And it feels like you're drowning. And then you throw in all of your family obligations. Your son has to go across to the orthodontist and it's a full day on the ferry. You've got another daughter who can't miss dance. So how are you supposed to take your son over to the island and then stay here for dance? It can get pretty tough when you're a solopreneur, right? We have to prioritize and we have to set boundaries. So take a step back. Write down everything that it is you have to do. And instead of sitting there and falling victim to the stuckness of it all, step out and claim victory. If your best friend was having this problem, what would you tell them? Would you say, oh yeah, we should probably sit and talk about it for a couple of days? Or would you say, come on now, we need to get out of this situation. We can't spend more time suffering in stuckness. We need to find a way out. So instead of letting the overwhelm paralyze you, step back and ask yourself, what advice would I give if I was on the outside looking in? Maybe you'd suggest simplifying. Focus on the highest impact tasks first. If you don't take a step back and understand what the main goal is, the main focus should be, you won't know which tasks are the most priority. Okay? Delegate what you can. Bring in a virtual assistant a few hours a week to take off some of the load off your plate. Sometimes the solution is simply prioritizing and letting go of what's not essential. Seek out external resources and mentors. Sometimes the breakthrough you need won't come from trying to figure it out alone. Reach out to people who've been there. Not necessarily maybe your friends or family who have an emotional tie to your success or who are all vying for your time, but people in your industry or people who are more objective and can offer you an unbiased perspective. Look for leaders in your field. Watch their videos, listen to their podcasts, read their books. Success leaves clues, and sometimes you just need to follow a path that someone else has already paved. I'm reminded of a story from when I was doing my accounting designation. It's going to date me a little bit, but the case study was, does Johnny Cochran cut his own grass? So for those of you who don't know, Johnny Cochran, back 25 years ago, he was a high-powered lawyer. He was a lawyer for O.J. Simpson. You might not even know who he is, but, when I was in school, this was one of the things that we were looking at. And so the case study said, Johnny Cochran bills himself out at $350 an hour. So if he can pay somebody $20 to do his own grass, to cut his own grass, what does he do? Does he take off that hour from work and come home and cut his grass? Or would he save himself $330 if he paid somebody $20 to cut his grass? You need to leverage and resource your network. When we're feeling stuck, it's easy to think we have to figure out everything on our own, but that is a trap. We are meant to be in community. One of the best ways to overcome obstacles is to seek out help, whether it's outsourcing tasks, hiring a virtual assistant, or simply asking someone for advice. Resourcing up can free you to focus on what truly matters. So leverage your network. Who do you have in your circle who's already been there? Somewhere, someone who's where you want to be. Sometimes it's not about knowing everything yourself. It's about knowing who to ask. Reach out to people who are leaders in your industry. Watch their videos, listen to their podcasts. Success leaves clues, so follow them. Don't be afraid to reach out for help from those who have walked the path before you. Sometimes the breakthrough you're looking for won't come from within. It will come from someone who can see your blind spots. There's no shame in asking for help. Even Moses had Aaron to hold up his hands when he was too tired to go on. Sometimes you need people in your life to hold you up, to offer a perspective you can't see when you're too close to the problem. And if you don't have those people in your circle, it's time to find them. Whether it's joining a mastermind, hiring a coach, or finding a mentor, the resources are out there. And I'll tell you, I am a business strategy and finance coach. But do you know what? I have a strategy and success coach. I can help my people and I have answers and I can strategize with them. But when I need the help on which direction to take, I go to my coach and I explain the problems that I am having, and she helps me to figure it out. And sometimes coaches charge money. Sometimes you can swap and barter. But if you had the opportunity to move forward or stand there and try to figure it out on your own, that's almost like the Johnny Cochran, right? Are you going to move forward, spend those hours moving forward where you can charge in your business or in whatever you're doing? Or are you going to sit there and do the work of the $20 an hour person that you could help? Okay? So what I want you to remember when you're faced with a challenge like this is step out and resource up. Staying stuck is a choice. God has already equipped you with everything you need to overcome the challenges that are right in front of you. But you have to take action. It's time to pivot, step up, and resource up.